I do believe that what you are doing is very right, because politics being one of the major instruments by which changes can be brought about. So by using political means in a more effective way and in a more humane way, it is also possible to create social changes. And as to what should be done when such a person comes into conflicts with certain faces conflicts because of the nature of the work, perhaps what I have already said in my talk will perhaps help you in terms of shaping your thought and responses.
Perhaps I did one additional item at that. Usually, I do like this. When I face some unhappy situation developed, then I always try to look from different angles, so that you can see some benefit from that disaster. So that at least some
So when you look at an issue or an event from multiple perspectives or multiple angles, even an event which may be a disastrous one, at least you could see one positive angle to it. And when you look at it from that angle, that in itself helps you to be in a better position to respond to that event. There is a Tibetan expression or saying which says that even disasters or crises can be a blessing in disguise.
Thank you. The next question is, don't we all have God or Buddha within us? Please explain.
사실 그런 고압사회 되면은 지금 대바트부 그다음에 저트부 이제 발상하는 이는 이게 좀
if we were, although I'm not very clear as to what the question actually means, but if we were to understand by the term God in a broad way, in terms of an embodiment of ultimate perfect compassion, or as an embodiment of ultimate truth, then one could say that God is within us, or Buddha is within us.
And
in Buddhist teachings, the terminology that is used is that in all of us there is the Buddha nature, the seed for enlightenment.
With him, the rest of the stuff might be in
The next question is a universal one. What happens to us when we die?
Of course, this question will solicit different answers depending on your own belief systems. Generally speaking, when you die at the point of death, it is you are no more.
The next questioner asks, in a world of compassion, how do we get rid of tyrants and tyranny, or do we? Or do we come to terms with it, like other religions, and accept it as a part of our world society? Tyrants and tyranny.
selling.
Actually, I already pointed out earlier that it is almost impossible to create a perfect, faultless human society.
We need that
However, if the majority of the members of society live with shared values in a more ethical and ethical way of life, and also more compassionate and more compassionate way of
and
life,
also active.
and also take active engagement in the society, then the presence of few individuals here and there who may be negative will not have much destructive effects. And in fact, towards such people, one should have even a greater degree of compassion and mercy towards these perpetrators of crime and so on.
And here I would like to mention the compassion or love. So in the nature of compassion, there is the feeling of closeness. That should not be considered something you should look at. Feeling of pittiness, not that way. That's not proper compassion. So proper compassion is firstly unbiased. So it's irrespective whether that person's attitude towards me, something friendly or something negative, irrespective. Just so long that person is another human being, particularly another human being, they say both have the same right, just like myself. So on that basis, develops some kind of closeness feeling and sense of responsibility. Now that's the first quality. Then second, not just look down, not look down, but rather you see the respect their right. And from that way, you see, develop sense of concern. So that's the proper compassion. So you see, towards the mischievous people, and also I noticed there is some people you see in jail, some criminal you see, or put it in jail. I think you see, society must just show compassion, sense of concern about their future. Sometimes I was told you see, some you see, criminal people, once you see put in jail, then you see they develop some kind of sense of hopelessness.
I was told that in many of these cases, people get totally depressed and feel as if they were treated as outcasts.
So that's actually very wrong. So those are the people, and also the aid patients, sometimes the society rejects. So that I think very unequal. Still, these are people, these are human beings, these are our brother sisters. So you see, if we take care more, if we show some more genuine compassion towards these people, then there is even a greater chance that these criminal people eventually resettle as a human society, citizen of society.
This is another universal question. Why are we born or reborn? Why are we born? And then the questioner says, reborn?
It is nature.
This questioner asks, how can I, as a mother, influence my children to have good karma?
As I said earlier, that one of the most important things that you could do for your child is to introduce to the child's mind right from the beginning, right from a very early stage, the value of affection, and so that the child can really experience the value of affection, which would then condition his or her life, entire life, and that's the greatest service you could do.
The next questioner says, crime is a problem in the United States. Is there a way to work constructively with criminals? And also, how can we reduce crime in the USA?
First part, can you
I feel that the first part has, in some sense, been responded to earlier.
Actually, you see, recently I met some people who have some organization who look after the people, the prisoners in India. And India also, now like you see in New Delhi,
Tihar jail in New Delhi.
there's one the lady, actually I think the police officer, one lady, who really is actively helping those criminal people as prisoners. Very, very positive action. Very helpful. And the result, see, obviously, see, you can claim. So that's one thing. Then the second part, basically, as I mentioned earlier, see, they change society, not through law, not instantly. We can do. So we are human beings. We are not machine. And then one switch, one switch on. Can change. But since we are more than that, we have this human emotion. So it's very difficult to change it constantly. So it's a gradual effort, as I mentioned earlier. So through that is the, I think, long-term answer. Only answer. The regulations and more police are difficult. Very difficult. When a police and walkie-talkie already when a computer which is sophisticated, anything sophisticated.
We see that the greater the sophistication in our crime prevention, such as and also detection and surveillance by using walkie-talkies or sophisticated computers and so on. As correspondingly, there also is an increase in the sophistication of the criminals' methods as well. They seem to go hand sort of together.
So unless internal self-discipline from within comes, or external force, or then it's a good dictatorship. According information in the former Soviet Union, under its communist rule, crime much less than today. So you may introduce that kind of regime. Yes.
Yes, this is the final question, Your Holiness. Please explain reincarnation in regard to the current world population of 6 billion people.
Of course, reincarnation, theory of reincarnation is based on the theory of rebirth. Now, therefore, from the Buddhist viewpoint, of course, the human population. So why is the human population is increasing? Of course, when we talk sentient being, the limitless. Like the scientific astronomy, galaxies with ton of shape. So that sentient kind of shape.
just as we learn from astronomy that there are multiple universal systems, so according to Buddhism is a belief that there are almost countless number of sentient beings.
So from that viewpoint, today, people on this planet is something like this, a tourist. They come from somewhere this moment and remain together, spend about 100 years. Then eventually depart from this place, go another new place for another tourist.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Your Holiness, I'm sorry, I've just been handed 2 more urgent questions. One is, a quiet mind allows our natural compassion to surface. I am not Buddhist. Any tips on calming or quieting the intellect?
When talking about calmness of mind or peace of mind, although definitely it is possible to generate a deeper, calm state of mind through traditional meditation techniques, but I personally believe, and what I've been talking about in my talk, is that through enhancing our capacity for compassion and affection, I personally believe it is possible to also generate that stability of mind and peace of mind. So regardless of whether you are a religious believer or not, the seed for compassion or the potential for a compassionate attitude lies within all of us.
This questioner asks, what type of lifestyle do you recommend for Western people? What change would you recommend we make personally?
Oh, I don't know.
Perhaps if you were to, perhaps you should ask some of the main key ecologists, environmentalists, and I'm sure they will tell you that there is a real need for fundamental change in your lifestyle.
This is the final question, Your Holiness. Historically, compassionate societies are overrun by brutal, conquering ones. What should the peaceful society do? Historically, compassionate societies are overrun by brutal, conquering societies. What should the peaceful society do?
unlike in the past, the reality of our modern world is such that, as I pointed out earlier, the need for creating a more compassionate and more peaceful society and more non-violent society is almost a question of survival, a question of continuation of human society. It's no longer simply a question of high morals or noble ideas. And not only that, but also we have at our disposal now many conditions, facilities which would assist us in creating and promoting such a society. For example, instant information travel from one continent to another continent, the extremely interdependent nature of the economic reality, and also the spreading of democratic free societies in the world, and
media.
and also media playing a very important role in disseminating information and so on.
And systematic education system.
And on top of that, we also have a systematic education given to the younger generation of the society and so on. So we have at our disposal various tools that could be used positively towards this goal of creating a better and more human society. And I'm personally more hopeful because creating such a society is now a question of survival and a question of being realistic.
Your Holiness, we thank you for 2 wonderful days in which you have inspired us, filled us with a desire to become compassionate and altruistic, and showed us true joy in a natural and wonderful human setting and how to be part of the human family. We thank you. We wish you well on your journey to the Big Island tomorrow, and a wonderful session at Wood Valley in the beautiful Big Island district of Ka'u. Mahalo nui. Thank you.
Good evening and aloha. We have a change in the program. We are about to present our cultural presentation, and we know that the Dalai Lama has had a very long day. He meditates from 3 in the morning, and he was to have taken a break backstage, but he has elected to stay for one song as we begin our cultural program. It's truly a blessing to be here under the stars of the Waikiki Shell in the presence of a very special human being. It is a rare moment, a moment we will all share here tonight, an island moment with the Dalai Lama, a moment we will remember for a lifetime. We've heard his words of wisdom, his philosophies, and his hopes. We take these words into our lives to be uplifted and inspired. And to complete the evening of fulfillment and enlightenment, we now share the Tibetan and Hawaiian cultures in music and song. To begin our cultural presentation, may I introduce you to someone very special, Your Holiness, a woman whose family is steeped in Hawaiian history. She's the great-granddaughter of Robert Wilcox and Princess Teresa Owana, both Hawaiian patriots. Today, she is the Kohina Nui of Kalahui. To offer you, Your Holiness, our aloha spirit, may I present the music of Owana Salazar. Miss Salazar will sing a song titled O Makalapua, a song composed for our last reigning Hawaiian queen.
Mahalo kia kua for this wonderful blessing. think the night of the time of cultural sharing is just beginning for us both. So when I get some sound on my guitar, I can begin. I'm not getting any sound. You can unplug it and just sing for you. Yes, patience is a virtue, yeah. Gee, at work today, how about a microphone for this instead? You know, I chose this song because many of us know it. So I'd really like to invite everyone here to sing along with me.
cultures, Tibet and Hawaii, a moment. Can I say chicken skin without being disrespectful? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Emmy Timimbang, and we continue with our program. There is no intermission, but we have music to uplift your spirit and make this a complete evening of totality. May we continue with a very, very wonderful lady, Miss Owana Salazar.
Thank you, Luna. What a blessing it is to be here tonight, to have all of this happen right in our midst. When I picked up a copy of The Snow Lion, I found that, as our program has stated, and I read it a little earlier, there is many, many similarities between us. And I found that as I read the words, I could oftentimes just replace the word Tibetan with Hawaiian. I think we have much identity and we share much. And so I wanted to sing you this song too, because we are in Kalahui, Hawaii, an initiative for self-governance, self-determination, all in the name of peace and non-violence. Aloha aina, malama aina, malama na kupuna, malami na o pio e man amena keiki, malama na o makua, mahalo ke akua. Here's to all of those who have gone before us and made a big sacrifice. The ultimate sacrifices of George Hill and Kimo Mitchell. We never forget them as we strive. A song composed by Kimo Mitchell's father, who we called Uncle Harry, went around with his big papale, always with his aloha and knowledge to share. Here's the story of the 9 men who went to Ka'olave to take her peace and to stop the bombing, which is now stopped. E lanakila, Ka'olave,